It happened several years ago, during one of my usual summer trips to visit my grandfather. He lives deep in the mountains of Miyazaki, surrounded by forest, rivers, and silence. Every year, I'd spend my days fishing, swimming, and running wild through the woods. That summer felt no different, at least at first. I'd been swimming alone in the river behind his house for about an hour. The water was cold, so I climbed out and sat on one of the wide rocks near the bank. It always felt like my own secret place. Remote, peaceful, empty. But that day wasn't completely empty. Far down the river, maybe 200 meters away, I spotted two kids. They looked about my age, young, maybe elementary school students. I'd never seen them before, and I didn't even think there were any families nearby with kids. The only school I knew of had been closed down years ago and left to rot. They didn't seem to notice me. They wandered off quietly in another direction. I figured it was time to head back anyway. My parents would be waiting. As I changed out of my wet clothes, something caught my eye. It was a photo nailed to a nearby tree, laminated, worn. At first, I thought it might be a lost pet flyer, but as I stepped closer, I froze. It was a picture of a woman with two children beside her. What unsettled me wasn't the photo itself, but what had been done to it. The woman's face had been blacked out completely with a thick marker, while the faces of the two children were circled in red. Below the image, in bold black letters, was a single line. I am looking for these children. Nothing else. No name. No contact. No explanation. There was something deeply wrong about it. This wasn't a poster you'd expect to see in town or on a notice board. It was hidden out here, deep in the woods. A 20-minute walk from my grandfather's place. A place nobody visits by accident. And the worst part was, one of the kids in that photo had a very specific haircut, shaved close on the sides. It stood out. One of the kids I saw near the river had that exact same haircut. I ran all the way back to the house. That night, I asked my grandfather if he knew anything about missing kids or strange posters in the forest. He shook his head, said he hadn't heard a thing. And in a place as small as his village, news travels fast. If something bad had happened, he would have known. Months passed. We visited again during the New Year holidays. My grandfather brought up the poster over drinks. He said he found another one and he thought I should see it. This one was the same photo, same blacked out face, same red circles. But now there was something scrawled across the image in large red letters. Found. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what it meant. Were the kids safe? Were they not? I brought the photo to a local temple and asked the priest to say a prayer, just in case. To this day, I still don't know what I saw. Maybe the poster was innocent. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe someone was looking for those kids. Or maybe someone was hunting them. Why was the mother's face erased? Why post it in a forest miles from any main road? And who were the kids by the river? Something isn't right in those mountains. I felt it then. I still feel it now.
It was the summer of 1985, maybe 86. I was working at a mountain retreat in North Carolina, along with around 50 other college-age staff. The place had a mix of newer buildings, but at its heart stood this enormous white structure built right into the mountain over 70 years earlier. That building was alive in its own way. Its foundation was stone pulled from the mountainside. Its wooden beams were cut from trees that once stood on that very spot. It rose 3 full stories above the ground, but really 5 if you counted the attic and basement. The attic was filled with bats, and every evening they'd spill out into the dusk like something out of a horror movie. The front porch had tall white columns and rocking chairs that faced the endless Smoky Mountains. But the back was a different story. That's where we worked. 2 long wings extended out from the main structure, forming a U. Between them was the fire escape, a steep staircase that led to the housekeeping door. That door. It was metal, green, and heavy enough to hurt your arm if it swung shut on you. On the outside, you had to yank hard to open it. From the inside, it had a push bar. By regulation, it had to stay shut at all times, no exceptions. But in summer, with no air conditioning, we'd wedge a heavy bucket of water against it to keep it open during the day. By the end of the season, most of the staff were getting ready to head out. We were cleaning our rooms and trying to throw one last get-together. Around 9 that night, my best friend and I realized we were out of cleaning supplies, so we decided to drive down to the back of the building instead of walking. The hill was steep, and we were feeling lazy. We pulled up close and stepped out. That's when things shifted. The air felt wrong, heavy, still, and the building loomed over us like it was watching. Every window was black. The place had been shut up for the winter, locked down completely. My friend had even been with me earlier when I double-checked and locked the back door at the top of the stairs. As we climbed the steps, the pressure got worse. It was like standing under water. I stopped and told my friend I didn't feel right. He admitted he felt the same. I'd never been scared of that building before. I had explored every inch of it alone over the years. The dark basement, the attic, but something was different now. A few steps higher, and I felt this chill crawl straight down my spine. Not just cold, it felt like something long and icy had been pressed directly against my back. We reached the top landing, and then just as I placed my foot down, that door, the one we knew was locked, swung wide open. There was no one there. Just the red glow of the exit sign pouring out into the dark. The hallway inside stood still, waiting, not welcoming. We both felt it. Something wanted us to walk inside, but not in a way that felt safe. It felt like bait. We froze. Neither of us spoke. I don't know how long we stood there staring into the building. Then panic took over. I turned and bolted. I screamed the entire way down, skipping steps and nearly falling. My friend was right behind me. We left my car behind and ran up the hill like our lives depended on it. Everyone came out when they heard us. They helped us search the building. We unlocked the door and went room to room. It was empty. The door was shut tight and locked again when we got there. No one could have opened it and slipped away. The place echoed with every step. You couldn't sneak through it if you tried. Every hallway groaned and creaked when you walked on it. I've tried to explain it away for decades, but I still can't. I worked there for 3 more summers after that. The feeling never quite left. My friend even stayed through one winter to help maintain the property. That's when he saw something else. A tall figure in the same building, a man with a wide-brimmed hat, standing in the shadows, watching.
Enjoying the story so far? If creepy tales are your thing, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel. And make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss what's coming next. Got a scary story of your own? If you have a true horror experience you'd like me to share on the channel, send it to the email address listed in the video description. Your story could be featured in an upcoming episode. Now, back to the horror. We used to talk about it even after we broke up. It sounds insane every time I remember it, but both of us were there. Both of us heard it, both of us felt it. Back then, I was living near the Smoky Mountains on the EBCI reservation. There's this lookout called Thomas Divide, famous for decades because of floating lights people say they've seen there. Locals claim if you stop at the clearing, flash your headlights 3 times toward the mountains, and wait, something strange might happen. I had read stories about it, but I'd never seen anything myself. One night, my ex and I decided to go check it out for fun. We pulled up to the clearing, parked on the far left side, killed the engine, and flashed the lights 3 times just like the story said. The moon was full that night, lighting up the gravel lot and surrounding trees clearly. There wasn't a single other car in sight. No people, no animals, just us. We had our windows rolled down. Most of the open space was on my side, to the right of the car. The mountains were in front of us. We talked quietly for a while, waiting for something to happen. When nothing did, my ex tried flashing the lights again. I had my arm resting outside the window, eyes on the sky. I laughed and said this was a waste of time, that nothing ever happens. And that's when the footsteps started. They came from the far end of the gravel clearing. Fast, light steps heading right toward my side of the car. It sounded like a kid running, but there was no one there. I leaned out of the window to get a better look. With the moon so bright, I could see everything, every rock, every patch of dirt, but I saw nothing moving. Still, the footsteps kept coming, closer, quicker, straight at my door. I leaned further out, trying to catch even a glimpse of what was making the sound. Then something slammed into my door. Hard. The whole car jolted. A loud thud echoed through the quiet. I looked straight down at where it hit, but there was nothing there. Nothing at all. No movement, no shadow, no figure running off. Just empty gravel. But the door had definitely been hit. My ex saw the whole thing. His eyes went wide and he asked if I had done that somehow. I told him I hadn't moved. He slammed the car into reverse and tore out of that place without saying a word. The whole drive back, he kept looking in every mirror, glancing out the windows. He had heard it too. The steps, the impact, but just like me, he never saw what caused any of it. To this day, we still bring it up. No answers, no explanation, just the memory of something we couldn't see running straight at us in the moonlight.
Thanks for sticking around till the end. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to give the video a like and leave a comment with your thoughts. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a terrifying tale. See you in the next one.